Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. This morning I am planting some shrubs. Sadly, it frosted today, or last night. It was very unexpected at this time of year for Michigan in Zone 5B, but it happened. So luckily we don't have any of those coming anytime soon. So I'm going to be able to plant today what I plan to plant, which are some shrubs from First Editions around the yard. I got some great clearance plant haul shrubs, and a couple of them I already planted, but after I planted them I thought to myself, what in the world am I doing without videotaping this for viewers to be able to see what I decide to do with them, what they look like after they're planted, and to watch the process. So here I am getting ready to do that, and I have two shrubs over here that I have not yet planted, and they are called Standing Ovation, and they are service berries, which is something that I have always wanted to, but these are really cool. Just take a look at the way that they grow. Their growth habit is really upright. It is a height of 15 feet tall and a width of 4 feet. So what I like about this is I have some bare wall space on the south side of my house that I would like to have something prettier on, and also to help shade it during the hot sun because it is brick. So I planted this autumn Jubilee, and this is a 9 bark, but it only, as you can see, fills up part of the space. And so I'm hoping to fill in this space and plant one here and then one over here in the irises, and leave some of the irises there. As you can see, I do have a small window in the middle that goes to my downstairs, and so I want to not block that or block any light that comes in through there. So I'm going to plant it on either side of that, and I think that's going to look really nice. Over here I have clematis that blooms purple, and so with the white blooms, I think that will fit in very well. So I'm going to go ahead and plant these, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're done. Alright everybody, let's get these plants watered in. I dug the hole. As I dug out the dirt, I put it into this bucket, and then I dumped some Biotone starter fertilizer into there and mixed it up. And as I refilled the holes behind, I put the newly fertilized soil back around it, and that is a slow release fertilizer. I'm not trying to give them like some kind of a kickstart as we're getting right into fall here, and like I said, last night it frosted, so I really don't want to, send out a whole bunch of new growth. I just want to give the roots a chance to get started, and that should help a bit. This bed has definitely been a bit of a challenge for me because it is, as I said, a south-facing wall, and it is brick, and so it also has an eave that goes over it, and between those two things, really, it doesn't get a lot of sun. So let's take a step back and see what these look like now. Oh, I like that. What do you think, guys? That's gonna be really nice. I think I'll probably keep them at maybe the base of the window or just a little bit higher than that. But I think that's gonna fill in just perfectly. That has been a very problematic bed for me. I'll get a little closer here. Whoops, I'm tripping. Yep, that looks good. So now I have a couple other shrubs that I'm gonna work on. Take a look at those next. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the irises that I dug up. I just put them into a little bucket, and if necessary I'll put something on my neighborhood app to say, hey buddies, anybody who wants to pick up some free irises is welcome to. Alright, I found these other clearance shrubs. They were $3 each. These are some little Youngstown junipers. They are evergreen. They grow to 1 foot high by 4 feet wide, and they're quite hardy. They're hardy down to zone 4. And again, I'm a 5B, so those will last quite well. I don't have a ton of evergreens in my yard, so I'm trying to increase them, and at $3 each, I think those are a very good price for putting on my back hill. You won't see them a ton, but it'll be something to look at in the winter time. So I will get those planted and watered in and give you a show of those two, as well as the two that I planted before I started the video. All right, here we go. Okay, so here we go down the back nine, the rustic hill garden, whatever you want to call it. I'd be happy to hear some ideas from you all. And this is where I ended up planting the juniper, as well as a couple of the other bushes I planted before I started videoing. So these two are called Tianshan, Seven Sunflower, Heptacodium, Meconiodes, Minhep. I don't know, but it's pretty, and they say that it's got fragrant flowers and it's good for pollinators, and it does have yellow, purplish, red fruits, and it will have brown exfoliating bark. I guess that's probably like the 9 bark. It takes full sun to part shade. It definitely gets part shade here, and it gets 8 to 12 feet tall and 5 to 7 feet wide. So what I did here is, I'm sorry for the light, it's not that great, and the contrast isn't amazing either right now, but as you can see, there's a few trees here, and so I planted them in between the trees, and I thought that was just a nice way to come down in the landing from the stairs, as well as just lining the path as you go up, and then also creating a little bit of separation between our yard and the neighbors, and having something back here to look at that's pretty when I bring the compost back, which is all the way over here. And I think we may be building a second compost bin this summer. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out today, because it actually starts to bring a little bit of order and some seasonal interest to this space, which still needs a lot of work, but I want to keep this area back here, like I said, kind of rustic, because it is planted on the hill, and it is a very challenging area to garden in, but it's coming along. Last year it was just a giant mess, and I'm looking forward to how things fill in next year and what things look like after they've had a chance to really root in and decide that they like the space they're in. And hopefully the deer will leave the junipers alone, as well as the 7 sunflowers, because they are supposed to be deer resistant. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it might. So the very last thing that I bought on clearance is a tree. I did plant a maple tree in my front yard, and it was earlier this year, and it was a maple tree that spent about 3 to 4 weeks probably in the mail from the Arbor Day Foundation when I bought it, and as a result it suffered quite a bit in the mail. I did bring it back to life. I got it planted in the yard with the help of my husband, and after that, unfortunately, it got eaten all the tops off by the deer. So now here's what I have. For 30 bucks, I got this Autumn Blaze maple. This is an awesome deal. Normally they're $90, and I think the great thing about this one is that it's tall enough probably that the deer will not eat the top off of it. So I'm gonna see if I can get my husband motivated to come out here and help me plant it, because I do have to dig up the other one before I can plant this one. And then we'll give you a quick tour of the finished planting. All right, everybody, we finished getting the tree into the ground. I did manage to get my husband to come help me a little bit, but turns out since it's been raining so much lately, I didn't need his help as much as I thought I would. Anyways, it looks much better than the other tree. You can see it a little bit better when I step into the shade. So you have to dig about twice as wide as the root ball, which we did, and it does need some mulch, which we will do. But after I dig out the hole for my trees, what I do is I fill it up with water, and then once the water has drained, then I start to backfill the hole. This just helps to make sure that there's a good bunch of water down at the bottom, and so the roots are encouraged to go get some of that water. I think it really helps new trees be successful. And then as I backfill, I use some plant tone from Espoma, and that's actually from the bag. I dump it into these buckets to help carry around the yard. And this is the size of the old trees. You can see the deer were just nibbling the top right off. It has some little starters at the top, but given that there's so many of them in our neighborhood right now and we're getting ready for winter and they may be a little hungry, I think it's a good time to just say, let's try a bigger tree. So there we have it, folks. I am pretty sure that they will not be able to reach the top of that one. Well, thanks for joining me again today for this version of Suburban Oasis. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We love having you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.